What's up, guys? A&H, we're back, and today we have a hot topic that Harry wants to discuss. So let's get into it.
Dude, I don't think anyone's talked about this. Anthony's a Madrid fan. I'm sure he'll be honest. Do you think Bellingham is putting in the work that he was paid for? Remember, he was higher than Ronaldo. I mean, different currencies, but still.
Is
Ronaldo
all
was
that
94 million
inflation?
transfer. He was 113 or something like that.
Damn, that's a good question.
I'm
I
not
would
saying because he's
say
not doing good. I'm saying because of how much the transfer was and for what he was brought in for.
I don't remember if I said this on a previous video or not, but I think they overpaid for him a little bit. Definitely not that price tag. He started the season off well, strong, and he kind of like drifted a little bit now.
Why did they bring Bellingham other than because he was a great player? Like, why did Madrid needed Bellingham? To score goals? To do passes? Like, what was the point of him?
Personally, I would say I think it was a business move
Oh, I see.
to get a great, promising, big player, English,
Makes
Hmm.
sense.
add some youth into the midfield.
Good point. I hadn't thought about. So, like, yeah, maybe he won't do good this year, but you're like, this he still got a lot of years to go. So that is a good business move.
For me, I agree with Anthony. I think they did overpay for him a little bit if you're only looking at his gameplay and his talent. But I think if you're talking about commercial and the other aspect that Madrid might have wanted because he's English and all that, I think the price tag is not too bad. And also, he was doing very well. And I do also agree that he's still young, so he can improve definitely because I remember Many and also Cavavinga, like the first season, they weren't that great either, but now they're pretty solid for us. He's been consistent, but some games like that are important. He hasn't been doing too well. I think that's the only thing that is kind of disappointing. But other than that, I'd say overall, I have no complaints with Bellingham at this point.
One thing Madrid is doing really well at is building for the future.
Hmm.
They have a lot of really young players like Vinny, Rodrigo, Valverde. Bellingham is pretty young.
Hmm.
Camavinga, Tchouaméni,
Hmm.
Yeah,
along
definitely.
with some old players, but even the old players are top.
My take on Bellingham, you guys just give me a new perspective. Yeah, they're definitely building for the future. I think he is worth what he paid for because I'm sure he'll get better and he'll be worth more money when they sell him later. So I think in that sense makes more sense. But I think in the present moment, I think he's falling short of the price tag just because I've seen some of the games of Madrid. He'll do good in games and he'll play great game, but in the tough games, especially he showed us in 4 or 5 games against Atletico that he could do nothing against them, and those are the teams that this type of players need to perform well. And obviously Ronaldo's like a what do you call it, anomaly, but when he got there, he was basically the one eliminating or performing against all the top teams, not just the low ones or the easy games. Which I think so far Bellingham is doing great at the easier games, but the tough games, I don't think for me he's doing below average in the tough games. And then again November, I think it was maybe November or October when he's just stopped scoring, but he will still give good assists. But not just his fault. I think it also has to do with what you guys said. The older players. I think Modric and who's the other one? Tony Kroos. I think
Croatia.
their game has definitely gone down compared to the last year or even the year before, and it's just part of the age.
Yeah, and also Modric is leaving after this season, so we'll see how that's gonna affect his game. I think that will give him more room, I guess, to do his thing, but we'll see. I don't know. I do agree with you, Eddie. Like for the bigger games that they need goals and stuff, he gotta do something, you know. Yeah.
Also, I want to add that maybe I haven't been watching Bellingham as much when he was playing for Dortmund, but it seems to me like he's kind of improving technically. His short plays and stuff, it seems to be getting better.
I
I
think also a scoring because I think he was having a hard time finishing. He's gotten a little better at finishing, even at Madrid.
I think that he's progressing well. Originally, I thought he would have a, for some reason, I thought he wouldn't transition and like have good chemistry with the A team of Madrid that quickly, but he is doing very well in my opinion. Just for, the first season, that's really good.
Yeah.
I also want to add more on the Modric situation since you brought it up. If he's not going to be there next season, that means Madrid is losing a lot. Because
Mhm.
Modric does a lot of good work in the top half, but at the same time, he also does the dirty work as well, coming back to
Yeah.
defend. If he leaves, that means potentially it could be more responsibility for Bellingham. That means he
Yes.
has to do the top half and the dirty work.
And that's
Yeah.
gonna affect either his scoring or if he's like Barca, at least, not comparing them because they're different styles. But Barca think he doesn't have someone that finishes and someone that blocks the middle. The middle goes up, all the goals are coming in counters or the middle being open. If
Mhm.
Bellingham attacks more than defends and they don't have someone else to cover that space, that's gonna be a problem in Champions League games. At least if that happens. But at the moment, I think they're still pretty solid.
Since Modric used to do attacking and defending, they're probably gonna have someone split up the workload with Bellingham. Maybe he can take the top half, and then Tchouaméni and Camavinga kind of do the dirty work. See how
Maybe
that goes.
Valverde too.
Yeah, and then there's also Valverde. Maybe he can take over Modric's role and just have Bellingham just roam free a little bit.
I mean, he's been pretty good at juking defenders and giving assists. I think that's what he needs to stay on, and because then if he stays in at
Yeah,
more attacking, then it gives more space to Rodrigo and Vinny.
because if they're gonna get Mbappe, then gonna be more
That's a
space for
different
Bellingham.
video.
Yeah, that's a different video.
But since you mentioned something about like nobody has talked about something, nobody has also talked about how Jose Lu is so bad,
I still don't know why Madrid got him.
right?
Why
Like,
do we need him? We got Rodrigo.
have you seen anybody talk about how bad Jose Lu has
Hey,
been?
he's been giving them wins at the end.
Hey, yeah, he has this hot streak sometimes, but sometimes I was like, how is this guy even on the A team?
Hey,
Like, what is
technically,
going
Brahim Diaz and Joselu, oof, killers at the end.
I mean, come on. Sometimes isn't cutting it for a starting striker at Madrid.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was actually gonna ask you that question. Does having Brahim Diaz or Joselu give you an excitement of a Madrid player like, oh, here's a substitute coming in?
I'm gonna be honest. I want Benzema back.
on?
Well,
Yeah.
remember before it was Ronaldo, Benzema, Higuain, Di Maria, Kaká, also. Whoever you change, you didn't change the spacing, didn't change the style. You had one for every man.
Now, when you see Jose Lu come in, you're like, damn.
We doubt him, and then he does good.
Right? Yeah, and then when we're like, oh, he's got this. It's just a penalty. Motherfucker miss it.
Smack the penalty off the post.
Ah,
All right,
they,
Who
yeah.
let this guy take it?
and now Ancelotti. Before he ends, do you guys think Madrid has a chance to win Champions League?
I'm gonna be honest. No, not with Jose Lu as striker.
Oh no.
But not only because of that, but because their whole back line has
Yep,
like an ACL tear.
everybody's
A
out.
goalie has an ACL tear.
But Lunin has been
Um,
putting in work though, so I don't know.
But see you guys in the next one.